Today we're speaking to Brian Moore. He speaks English, Afrikaans, Zulu, and many other languages. He is a diversity and communication specialist. He also has a unique ability to unite people from any background. Known as a peacemaker on the Duzi Canoe Marathon for his work in bringing peace between canoeists and rural communities. He was recognized for his work by Archbishop Desmond Tutu himself. The course called VAK, How to Improve Relationships and Business Communications. Brian, please can you say hello to everyone and tell us a bit about yourself and your business?
Great, thanks very much, Brad. I'm really excited to be having this opportunity, and I really thank you for that. What we're going to be talking about today is learning and communication styles and how they can affect your communication and relationships. As the series of videos unfold, you will find out exactly how to test yourself and test other people, and then adjust your communication and even your relationships to get better results, both at work, at home, and in your social life. Our first screen tells you a little bit about that, the copyright issues. I've been in this business now since 1995. We have a lot of fun going out there and transforming teams of people from different cultures, backgrounds, and different individual uniquenesses, one of which is the VAK. Okay, I'm just going to go down to the next slide. Okay, great. We've moved on to the next slide, which gives you a little bit of an idea about unique learning styles and communication styles. Now, each one of us has a way in which we learn. Each one of these ways that we learn is individual, it is unique. And the exciting thing about it is we each have almost like a fingerprint of how we learn when we combine the various aspects of visual, auditory, sensory, and kinesthetic learning. Now, once we know our learning style, we start to understand how we communicate. And once we understand how we communicate, we can start to look at other people, see how they bring in information, and we'll be able to change our communication to get into the lives and the hearts of the people we're talking to. Remember that all learning styles are awesome. It doesn't matter how you learn. Each learning style is perfect. It's just your own individual one. So if you have a child who's battling or struggling with a teacher, it's not your child's fault. Your child is not stupid. It may be just an educator who has not yet found a way to communicate with your child. Moving on to the next slide. So learning styles really impact all sorts of things. I think the most important thing they're going to impact is how you take in information, and I don't think that many of us were taught in school how to learn. They'd give us a book and say, go and learn this off by heart. Teacher, how do I learn that? Well, what you do is you go and you read it over and over again until it's stuck in your head. But that is not how all of us learn. We all learn differently. Our relationships are going to be seriously impacted by this. And you may find that you're struggling with some people in your family. You may find that you're battling with a lecturer at university. You may find that your children or your brothers and sisters are struggling with a particular teacher. This is going to help you to clear all of that. Moving on to the next slide. Okay, great. Here is a beautiful graphic of the various aspects of VAK. You can use the terms visual, audio, and kinesthetic. But the important thing is, if you remember VAK, you can search the internet for a lot of information on this. Particularly, do not be shy. Come across to our website, celebratinghumanityinternational.com and diversitytrainers.coza, where you'll find a lot of information on how to build relationships. Now, let's have a look firstly at the visual. You'll see the little graphic, the potato man on the right-hand side. He's got these huge big eyes because he takes in information, particularly visually. So if you look at the graphic, you'll see there it says visual learners talk fast. And it could be something like this. I was driving down the road the other day and suddenly this big red bus came flying around the corner and it went into this yellow taxi, and suddenly all of these people with big purple shirts are running down the road. And some of you will be going, what? What did he just say? And some of you will actually have a picture of the red bus, the yellow taxi, and the people in the purple shirts. Visual people will get that picture. The reason visual people talk so fast is because they get a picture and then they have to give it back to you not on a printer or on an iPad. They have to give it to you word by word. And each time they bring it out, those words just stream into each other, one after the other, so they can get that picture out as fast as possible. Now, if you want to know whether a person is a visual learner, or you want to know if you're a visual learner, what you need to do is start watching a few things. The first thing you need to notice is, what words do you use? Do you use words like picture? I got the picture. Can't you see that? I have a vision. Look here, let me show you. And how does this look to you? Because visual people work from what they can see. They'll use words that are very eye-based. When they give you directions, that actually is quite funny. They very seldom know the street names, unless these are huge street names that you'd see up in the middle of a great city. They will give you landmarks. And if you know where KFC or McDonald's is, they can take you anywhere in a city. So they'll start off and go, hey, if you go down to KFC, you turn right. On the right-hand side, you'll see a yellow church. Go down until you see the golf course on the left. Go to the end of the golf course, turn right. My house is the one with the green roof and the red gate. And if you ask them what their address is, you'll hear in the background, Ma, where do we stay? Addresses are not important. It's what you can see on the journey. Cool. They learn very much visually through what they can see. They learn through pictures. They like to draw mind maps to retain information. But here comes the most interesting part. If you ask a visual person a question that they have to think about, their eyes will look up, or they will stare into the distance as if they are picturing things. I think the reason they look up is because up in their brain, somewhere high up, they've got this little file that is called My Pictures. And they sort through all of these pictures very quickly and give you an answer. So those are visual learners. Talk fast, use visual words, give landmarks for directions, learn best through pictures, and their eyes look up or stare. And in fact, sometimes they may even close their eyes. Now, if you have a look at the little potato man on the right-hand side, you'll see that that mouth is open and it is talking. And it doesn't stop. It just goes and goes and goes and goes. Now, audio people talk lots. Particularly happy when they're talking. So an audio person, if you said to them, please, could you give me directions to another city completely, into a specific place, they'd start you off at your front gate, come out of your driveway, turn right down Bartle Road, go to the end of Bartle Road, turn left in Queen Mary. And essentially, you don't need to know that information. You know how to get to their city. You need to know more detailed information for when you get to the place, but these guys can't stop. If you stop them, well, they're going to start again. Now, audio people, because they learn dominantly through hearing and through talking, and through mulling words over in their heads, would use words like, hey man, I've got a mission. Let me tell you the story. Oh no, please listen to me. You know, I talk and I talk and I talk, and nobody listens to me. Well, the reason is because they talk and they talk and they talk. They'll have the whispers, they'll have the rumors, they'll have everything that's going on around the city. They talk too much. Audio people will give directions in writing and in words, and they'll call it a map. Now, there would not be one single picture on there, but every street light, every sign, every road name, every T-junction would be in their descriptions. Audio people learn very well through themselves. Now, I'm a bit of an audio person, as you may have noticed already, and I retain information by repeating words in my head. Repeating words, repeating concepts, and that's how I retain information. Now, if you have a look at the little graphic there, it'll show you that an audio person will look for information on their non-dominant side. To explain that, if you're right-handed, you'll glance very quickly to your left ear. If you're left-handed, you'll glance very quickly to your right ear. That is an audio person, going to talk a lot. They'll use lots of sound-based words, give directions in lots of words, and if you dare stop them, they'll start again. Cool, now we get down to the kinesthetic people. Kinesthetic people are people who learn dominantly through movement, sensory things, and through experience. And you'll see the two kinesthetic potato people on the right-hand side. The hands are up in the air, the eyes are looking left and down, and there's a lot of movement going on there. Kinesthetic people will use words that are dominantly sensory based. So they'll talk about how they feel, how they felt, they were touched by something, or as an example, I once asked a kinesthetic person to describe a lamppost. And they looked at this lamppost for quite a long time. And then they said, it looks so lonely. So there's a lot of emotion based in the kinesthetic person. In terms of how they talk, kinesthetic people take quite a bit of time to get words out. They have to think about it. So if you ask them if they wanted tea or coffee, they'd first have to taste the tea in their mouth. They'd have to taste the coffee, and then seemingly eventually would come back with, I think I'll have some tea. Now, if you interrupt them at any point, they're going to give up and just go straight for water because it's just too much of a stress-based thing. So kinesthetic people, you have to step back, let them talk. They are as intelligent as anybody else. It's just that they have a different reference base and it's more to the emotion. When they give directions, they don't like to give directions for a start. The first thing that happens is if you say, can you give me directions to the hospital? They'll go, whoa, dude, where's John? John? And they'll call for John because John is the one that gives the directions around there. And now I wish you could be watching me, because what they'd be doing is the hands would be out. They'd be bobbing and weaving and twisting and turning, say, well, you go down this road and then you turn to the right and then you go up this hill and all the way up the hill, and eventually they're going to go, hey, wait. If you stop there, there's a petrol station on the left-hand side. Just go in there and ask them. They'll show you how to get there. Directions, a kinesthetic person would rather be sitting next to you in the car and take you to the place because they feel the journey. Now, kinesthetic people learn through doing, through physical exercises. So if you've got children that are learning, they could be on the trampoline bouncing up and down going 5 times 5 is 25, 6 times 5 is 30. And that way, with the movement and the talking and the visual aspect, they learn very, very quickly. Eye movement. Kinesthetic people will look to the ear on the dominant side, i.e. if they're right-handed. They'll look to their ear on the right-hand side if they're left-handed, the opposite side. They will also look down to where they learn the most. Where they learn the most is through their hands. So, kinesthetic people talk thoughtfully, and often visual people get very frustrated with them and say, come on, all I did is ask you about tea and coffee. And the audio people will start repeating themselves and going, so, would you like rooibos tea? Would you like 5 roses? And they just keep on giving so many options that the kinesthetic person will just give up. When a kinesthetic person is delivering an answer, relax, wait, let them deliver it.